the commissioner of police cannot be higher than the governor of the state. And with this corona that will be coming, is it majorly from a particular area? Why not they tell about people to begin to also Annie, I go to shop.
That still gets produce from.
In fact, these are really
experiencing this same problem.
Yesterday,
I don't think there's any part of the country
waiting for bread somewhere till 8 o'clock. So,
your point
what
here.
I'm trying to say is this: federal government is spoiling for war, and that war, that federal government cannot prevail. The late, in fact, double the capacity of the task force he has set up, taking, extorting money at the boundaries and letting people come in when the state was, so the boundaries of interstate
was closed down. Yeah.
Who, as a governor, will not be angry and set up a counterpose system that will give him results, and will also a kind of got results of people being arrested. Whatever it is, they have no right to tell the commissioner of police where we are. No matter how you color it, there is a hideous agenda.
How? That's what I'm trying to say. What's the hideous agenda? What's the hideous agenda here?
The hideous agenda is to undermine the authority.
What's going on here? Yes, I do. No, but honestly, I do. I like the name.
You like fish. Every other thing we will look at it from wisdom that is so disturbing. Sustain. You need to be sustained. Not take a state open for those 2 days. What happened? It was chaos. Now you found that within 5. I mean, if you say just 2 days. Going back. They have not been able to stop. And less than one where we can extend our shops even within neighborhood. But a lot of all the other persons making all this at the state. When she said maybe because of course it's the CP.
Yeah.
And
it shouldn't there have me some sort of synergy? Because
that's the point I mean. The state
Of course.
Okay,
you're getting into.
So you
when they
which
they will take your own.
to find out that you've left.
They find out
It's free without a chastisement of checks and all that from the states.
Annie, let me just ask, starting from there. If any goods is coming into the store, is coming to the states, people kind of bought those things and mentioned that are so stuff is by constitution. Then sure we don't have this kind of crashes. Then where people can buy things because the curfew, the federal got that arrangement. So we must know as a people.
I disagree with you.
No, hold on.
I disagree.
The official curfew
It was
started.
observed, yes.
But as of yesterday,
Exactly.
as of yesterday, I did not see that applied.
Yeah.
As of yesterday, because even where I was, I saw vehicles still plying out.
That went to the lockdown. The lockdown, yes, sorry. I've been extended set of the people. And within to not make people to understand that the curfew is still subsisting.
You see, Annie, in River State, in my area, 8 p.m. you won't. I don't know. In my area, it was.
maybe I don't know. I don't know why we even miss it. That you think it's for nothing that the governor said it should start by 8 p.m.
to 6.
That 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. that the governor announced is just the enforcement of what the president has said.
Yes,
because
that's what it is.
There's nothing like violation.
Yeah.
So it's there.
I see that they are also kind of tired because this lockdown. This lockdown.
All right, it's 8 minutes after 11. 0810-95. Let's get your thoughts here. First, and then we came to look at, including livestock in River State will no longer be at the command headquarters in Moscow Road that had the state. We'd like to get your thoughts on that.
I want to thank the federal government for saving River State once again. You know why I say so?
Tell me.
I immediately have a press conference that it now cancel the lockdown, relax the lockdown to further notice by Sunday. To enable it to find another way to navigate its plan towards taking River State. But because you see, the federal government has a movement of food and cattle to be supervised by the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner of Police cannot take directive again for him based on that. You understand the thing is there now. And I'm
It's not just for River State. I hope you understand that it is
Yes,
for all the
it is.
states.
So,
So
other states,
don't make it
everybody
look
goes
like
like,
this is because something.
executive order. Is the executive order of the president, the governor, more than the executive order of the president. The executive order of
Food stock. If you're allowing food because we have apprehended
to go to that destination, not for you.
wild one.
we
Thank you.
are ready
Anyways,
for
we got
problem.
your thoughts on that. Hello, today 95.1 FM. Good morning. All right, do call back if you can. We lost that connection. 0810. That number is for WhatsApp messages and text messages only. 07019.
For me, the government bringing in food more than the food that the truck is carrying. And this is its own home. And this is when people come without any reason for coming in. What's the sense of? And let them go to the appropriate quarters since the markets have been shut down.
I think we're saying the same thing
That's
then.
why it's very
Yes,
governmental.
please.
That the food that comes in heads to the destination where it's intended to.
Yeah. You see, even when I had vehicle that are very good food to be.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Morning.
Morning. What's your name?
Yeah. We are not one. We are not one. We have federal character. We have geopolitical zone. You want to take your national.
Well, your constitution has nothing with do.
So is that you know when we begin to see the constitution is coming from Port Harcourt.
I would say good to have you.
Yes, and I think the action so far. Then issue of mandate, I don't know that is on their table. Listen, and we have life. We have this life. We cannot. We have life already. It's not about we must stay alive before we eat. We eat to stay alive. You understand? So we are not struggling with life. So we eat to stay alive.
All right.
I think to ease up the lockdown. Why?
Hello, today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, Madam Ame.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you coming from?
Hello?
Please. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. I recall that Lamido Sanusi, while he was in Kano there, Jonathan, now the federal government to take care of who gives birth to them. Stop giving birth to not the number of children that they cannot take care of.
We already understand the problem. We're looking for the way forward. So
Giving birth to them with for somebody to it is that we fail to say the truth. And we should not be animal to call before, but I decided to call the issue of this emergency. It is out more than 10. For that somebody.
what should we do with the problem as we have it now? What is your suggestion? No, you're giving me history. What do you think we should do now?
The one that they can still identify their parents, let them take them back to their parents. Then the one that they cannot be all the northerners. Then anybody should give back one them, maybe give something confusion. That's what I want to say.
All right, we got your thoughts, sir. Thank you.
That is why he's my mentor. So, Madam Annie, wonder she was sent there for a part in River State, and thank God, without the input of the governor of any of the states. That is the constitution. But the federal government will be doing the state under this.
I just want to ask, is the state government here in River here? If
That's
the
what-
state governor has no
Yes.
problem with food coming in, and he's not looking.
The problem is because of the language, the commissioner of food, that the some people, it happened here in Bayelsa.
That's
The laws of the land must take its course. Governor decided, do you know that Akwa Ibom State said no more livestock in Akwa Ibom? That was yesterday. That and people have been coming with bringing in people.
Been apprehended, but then again,
Yes.
they're inhabitants of that land.
That is why you don't need to allow criminals to make use of your house.
All right, then. Thank you.
My greetings to your guests in the studio, citizens of this country. It's unacceptable to me. These are some of the new things we are seeing in this country. You are deporting a citizen of a country. Now to the second issue, the food brought by the Northerners. I don't think they will have continued to bring it. And federal government had earlier said, officer of the state. I think that the commissioner, these are people who load the goods and upload for that, and they are coming to infect people in religion. So if they are not tenant, it's a possible way of restructuring.
It's both a religious and social problem. Now, I don't know what now is. And when I say from River State, indigents to go and learn. So that is why. Good morning, Annie and Undukwe. Leading in the trucks in the name of loading and offload and offload. Government should restrict, and the analyst should be open. And on that premise, how far has the state and federal government acted on that statutory provisions to arrest and discipline erring parents as well as the child? Must and needs to be checked. Otherwise, it is an offense punishable. Colors that are aligned to political parties. Guests in the studio, Annie COVID League 20 foot soldiers are coming in. They are coming. The solution is division. Save African race. All right. This is from Nyewuna Woko from Mpolu community. Respective states of origin. Remember, in 2015, Kwankwaso said Almajiris are used to vote Jonathan Alf. The northern elites have been using them to rig elections in Nigeria, so let them suffer the seed that they have sown for years. 100, all because of lockdown. Annie, he said, good morning, by Mr. President. He made it look as though he was in the studio. Kingsley Onyema from Port Harcourt. Good morning, Annie. My name is Rose from Ada George. God bless Obi. And Annie, you are saying we should have come away because I'm angry at the parents. So circumstances has cost them. Who is begging to eat if you can afford it? Especially in this case where he says they're
fading a prompt. Wait, chase them away.
That's what I'm saying. I decided not to wait to solve a problem.
Sound argument.
In Boma from Port Harcourt. Please, if you observed and fear everywhere, panic buying continues, it will be potent danger in the future. They had this rush buying. It is synonymous with this is what we're doing. They still waited till 24 hours to it before they rushed. And that can also be because
moving about.
Spending and sufferings just to read in the middle of
That's
people.
what I'm saying.
I don't want to tell me. You know what? This is not going to happen on Sunday.
Exactly, that's an area that thing. You want to get money to not stock again. So the best is to remove the lockdown entirely. So let us get a strategy.
All right then. I salute all. Apart from the Child's Rights Section 15, subsection 1 of the 1999 CFR should be prohibited. For the purpose of promoting national integration, it is the Almajiri practice, and there is the level of stagflation of food items here has been so harsh on citizens, thereby creating more suffering and hunger. CP Joseph Moklan has should ensure food items enter Rivers State unrestricted. Really serious people. Those people coming in with trucks through the borders on essential duties, what is their COVID-19 status? I think the CP, not the federal government, is not getting this all right. What kind of country is this? We're just making nonsense of this COVID-19 fight. Bob, you sent that in. Hello, Today95.1 FM. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
Good morning. My name is Peter, calling from Port Harcourt.
Peter, good to have you. Go ahead.
All right. I think the boundary issue, why we are sounding like this, because River State is just a consuming state. They only consume, they don't produce. Had it been there are some certain things they export to other states, they would have said, let them bring their own, so that we will export our own or take our own to other states. So if you look at this critically, they should allow all these foods that people will eat. It's not to lock people down. And people will be shouting, crying. Like this llama now, you are seeing all this cattle. Some people cannot do without meat. You see, if you come to this state today, a lot of people, they cannot do without meat. And if you allow us to be eating goats, where are the goats that people will eat here? I think llama, you see, the cattle is the highest meat that people consume in the whole, let me say, this country, Nigeria. They should allow it. And the governor telling us that this locking down. You see, he's supposed to let people know before then. It's not to tell people maybe say 2 days, you people should go and buy. At the end, as if he's not prepared. At least before the governor should come, he would have mapped out a lot of things. So this is how it goes. I don't know. Some people will say people are crying. Why governor locked down? Okay, the governor have opened it. Now why people are saying that what governor it is something that somebody reasoned before you do something, and the best thing is to be done.
All right.
It's not that this one say it is good, you go there. This one say it is right, you go there.
Okay, your
Calculate. The best thing should be done.
Thank you very much. Got your thoughts there. Good morning, Annie. You see the way Almajiris are treated, especially during COVID-19 period, is a testament to the perpetual failure of our various levels of government and the insensitivity and selfishness of our hearts as humans. It has always been my question that what has these children done to deserve such treatment? Here in Rivers, many of us have been gloating over the fact that we have got them removed and sent back with no regard to their peculiar circumstances. Those children's only fault is the misfortune of being born to their parents their particular parents and society. They're no different from our own privileged governments of their states of residence. After all, doing pageants and social and sports events, individuals represent their states of residence and states take the glory for their successes. Thank you, Kenny. You sent that from Port Harcourt. The last call for today. Hello, Today 95.1 FM.
This is my name. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Ima, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, please, the issue of allowing truck into River State. I myself, I'm a trailer driver. I'm also for the past 3 months now, I've not been going to work, but I'm still feeding. What the governor should have done is to make sure that the issue of truck carrying people into River State, I and my motor boy, we are the one that drive from Lagos to Port Harcourt. We are into tissue distributor, tissue and what do they call it? Those dye parts.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are the major distributor in River State here. So if we want people, if you say that truck are coming with people, yes, those are bulky people. They do only come with people to upload those cows. But in our company, in Lagos where we load, we are not the one that loads. Where we get there, we only load those. When we get to Port Harcourt, we have people that upload those goods in our warehouse. So it should not be less than 4. I mean, more than 4 people.
That's my recommendation.
In a situation where you see a truck carrying almost like 10 people with a cow, it's not good.
There's a problem.
It's not good. Especially this period that we are experiencing this COVID-19 and the issue of herdsmen. It's not good.
All right,
so what we have had the governor to do is to set up a task force that will be checkmating all those drivers. And the motorists, if a truck is carrying more than 4 people, they should send it back. Right. That is my take.
Okay. Thank you very much. You know what? I'm tempted. Hello, Today 95.1. I did say it was the last. Sorry. Hello. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning. Hello. Well, that's the last. The universality of religion is exaggerated. It has always been modified to suit the peculiarities of the people. And that's the case in Nigeria. The practice of Christianity and Islam in Nigeria has slight difference from what obtains in Rome, Jerusalem, and Saudi Arabia, respectively. If therefore follows that the Al-Majri system in the north is a modification of what is seen in Saudi Arabia. Like every other thing in this country, it is for untoward, pecuniary, and selfish purposes that the northern elites have perpetrated this system on the poor masses. We've got to go. I don't think that entertainment today will be happy with us, but we've got to go. Fine Face, the minute Fine Face, let's have your thoughts here.
Yes, I will start by saying that 1497 is a long time ago. That's about 13th century. But that number, 1497, represents 1,497 illegal routes into Nigeria. Here in River State, we have official boundaries into the state. And we understand that the governor has also constructed iron rod across the road. People should not pass. So when the federal government task force, because that's the way I call it, headed by the Commissioner of Police River State, is taking charge of those legal boundaries and routes into the state, the task force set up by the governor should be concerned about illegal routes into River State. What are those local government areas that serve as is more porous about illegal routes? We talk about Ahoda West that has boundary with Bayelsa State. We talk about Ikwerre local government area that has boundary with Imo State. We talk about Omuma that has boundary with Imo State. We also talk about Eche that has boundary with Imo State. Kana local government area, which is my local government area, is one of them. But why the governor should not bother more about that is because it is river that divide us. So the governor should try as much as possible to, if possible, appoint an SA on research and strategy to be able to
Fine Face,
look at these issues.
Fine Face, environmental justice activist and executive director, Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center. Thank you so much. And he asked Obidima if he knows that most people that we Southerners and he, Obidima, mistakenly call Al-Majiris are not, but are the cheapest laborers and wheelbarrow pushers that are very helpful to the southern economy of Nigerians. Some are water fetchers, some ferry load of foodstuff for men and women traders to service many households and millions of market women that without them, foodstuff and other labor-related services will be out of reach of many poor households and expensive, and as such will be unbearable to many poorest of the poor households in the South. This is from Mr. Jonox. It just reminds me of the issues with Britain, when they said people were taking why they want to Brexit, and they pushed out as many people as possible. And now there's nobody in the farms tending to the crops. So they're looking at importing hired helps, foreign hired helps, to come back into UK and help with the farms. I hope that's not going to be a problem that will visit us. So in order to checkmate that, I think, is that we begin to ensure that the systems that can take over some of these things that we think is manual labor or cheap labor. So once you take them off, that system is still sustained by what you've put in place. Obidima, over to you.
Yes, federal government has no right to supervise how this pandemic is managed in the states. In a true federalism, state and federal government have coordinate jurisdiction. And the president should not be there and be lording over the states. It's unacceptable. So what Nyesom Wike should do, I'm advising him, is to increase the capacity of his task force to ensure that those that are bringing whatever food stuff is in line with the operational guideline in River State. Nobody will tell us how River State should be run. We have a governor. Again, the CP, those people he's mentioning, chairman of whatever, journalists and all, are they going to be in different points? No. It's police people they will also send in different points to head the presidential task force, so-called. Then finally, I'm also calling on the governor of River State to immediately send an executive bill to the House of Assembly for a law to be enacted prohibiting anything called street begging, amajiri, aboro in River State.
All right then. JP, journalist and international affairs analyst, thank you so much. Someone says here, Annie, good morning. You see, easing of this lockdown till Sunday night, I think it is for their benefit so that they can do their Thanksgiving for the new PDP office holders. Thank you. All right. Let's get to you now, Opaka. Most likely.
Yeah, why will you not concur?
It's very possible that's the intention.
You concur.
I didn't concur. I said it's most likely that is the reason.
It's not the reason.
Oh, really? What's the reason?
What is the reason?
The reason is that we should buy things.
Oh, last time they gave us 2 days to buy things.
Yes.
They didn't think about it then.
Not enough.
All right. Opaka?
I think we need to, talking about the CP's task force and whatever we have, and the ones that we have by the state government, I should want to advise that we find a way of synergizing. Because it's so important. In Port Harcourt yesterday, bread that I used to buy 100 naira was 150. Every other thing that is food item is just some more than 100% increase in all of them. It tells us that our supplies are running down, not just because of the rush. Supplies are running down. We need food. People are not working, and yet they are to pay more for basic items. I think it's something that we cannot sustain for too long. So let's get to that point where we're able to synergize and allow these essentials to come in. We need them.
And this is from King Alagbo1. He says, good morning, 95.1. And those in the studio, Governor Wike should obey federal orders and stop all this because the citizens are the ones suffering it. Emmanuel Ndukwe.
Well, there are rough edges inherent, and the task force to be headed by the CP and, of course, River State government. Now, what will solve the problem is collaboration, synergy. Let them prune off all these rough edges so that there won't be cantankerousness.
All right, thank you very much. This is where we wrap up on the show. And I want to apologize. The text messages are pouring in, and can't afford to read them. It's that I took all of entertainment, and here we are still. But then for people who are listening in, thank you so much for those who contributed. We appreciate you. We'll do this again tomorrow. Stay on the dial. The world news comes up at the top of the hour, and you can catch up on all entertainment stories much later in the evening with entertainment recap that comes up at 6:30. And I owe it to the entertainment guys this morning. I truly do.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
I am a proud Nigerian. I have been placed here by God for a time such as this.
Pack my bags, I ain't coming back.
The degradation, challenges, and problems faced by Nigeria are the perfect backdrop for me to develop and utilize my God-given potential.
I will not complain. I will not criticize. Rather, I will use my skills, gifts, relationships,
and experience to find long-lasting and revolutionary solutions to the many challenges confronting Nigeria.
Nigeria will rise again.
Because I am here, I will leave this nation
a better place than I met it. I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth.
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God.
Let me tell you how I got this far.
This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
Abobe, march down, Moko, come on here.
Madam, that's how you did tea reach. How you go chop banana finish, wrap am for nylon, put am inside your bag. When you dey close to window, you no fit throw am now. Abeg go, that's how you did tea reach.
Abeg, make I calm down.
You are not supposed to throw things on the road. You should pack your rubbish until you get to a trash can where you can dispose it properly. We all have a responsibility to keep the state clean. Keeping the state clean will help stop the spread of diseases and leave our city looking beautiful. So, Oga and Madam, let's stop dumping refuse anyhow on the roads. Let's join our hands together to keep our state clean, to keep River State clean.
This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt.
Every child deserves to be happy. Every child deserves to laugh. Years after Nigeria adopted international prohibitions on child labor into law, millions of children in the country are still engaged in child labor activities. The International Labour Organization estimates that about 25% of Nigeria's 80 million children under the age of 14 are now in the workforce. Every child deserves a childhood. Let us all rise in every hood to give every child, regardless creed, belief, or tribe, a pleasant childhood filled with laughter. This message is brought to you by the voice of the people, Today 95.1 FM.
Nigeria is more than a geographical expanse of land spreading from the north down to the south. Nigeria is the people that live in it. You are Nigeria. I am Nigeria. We are Nigeria. Nigeria gets better when we do. And there is no limit to the little things we could all do to make Nigeria a country we will be proud to call our own. Little things that matter, done for the love of Nigeria, is all we need to make Nigeria.
Port Harcourt. I am Carla.